Well, the lead story tonight is cases of the Omicron variant in India are being detected and are climbing. We now have over 109 cases in 11 states. So Maharashtra is the highest of that number. It's nearly touching 50, followed by Delhi at 22. But remember, these are cases which are genome sequenced. So the Omicron variant is detected. The actual number could be much higher. So we've seen Rajasthan, Karnataka, Telangana, Gujarat, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Chandigarh, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal. All these cases being reported for the Omicron variant, mainly from international travellers, but there are some local cases as well with no history of travel. So the government today in a press conference of the Health Ministry has warned that if we see similar surges like currently in the UK and France, we could touch 14 lakh cases daily. And the government said this is the time to stop leisure travel and large gatherings.
अगर जो केसेस कल यूके में हुए हैं 88,000 के करीब 80,000 ले लीजिए, अगर हम उसको पॉपुलेशन के बेस पे लें तो ये 14 लाख केस होंगे। इसी प्रकार अगर हम फ्रांस में देखें, वहाँ 80% वैक्सीनेशन का पार्शियल कवरेज है कम से कम, तो 13 लाख उसी को ट्रांसलेट करें तो केसेस के बराबर हो जाता है, जो कि उनकी पॉपुलेशन के हिसाब से 65,000 पर डे है।
A grim warning by one of the top medical experts in the country. The Health Ministry also warned that it seems Omicron cases are all set to outpace Delta.
जहां डेल्टा का सर्कुलेशन लो था, वहां पर भी काफी अधिक गति से ओमिक्रॉन फैल रहा है। एक संभावना लगती है कि आने वाले समय में ओमिक्रॉन डेल्टा वेरिएंट को जहां-जहां अधिक केसेस फैलेंगे वहां रिप्लेस करते हुए हो सकता है दिखाई दे।
In India, Omicron has been detected in 11 states. In Delhi, 10 people tested positive for Omicron, taking the tally to over 20 in the national capital. However, no one is showing severe symptoms.
All these patients are asymptomatic, rather, only have mild disease.
Let's move to the other big political headlines. Well, outrage after a remark by a Karnataka senior Congress MLA yesterday in the State Assembly, talking about commotion in the House, saying that if rape is inevitable, you may as well enjoy it. This as the BJP speaker laughed, but today women across the board have condemned these shocking statements. So then the Congress MLA made what he said was an apology, but it was so half-hearted, people said you may as well not have bothered in the first place. The Congress and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra condemned the comments, but the BJP has said that if they're serious about their women empowerment slogan, they should sack the senior MLA.
There is a saying, when rape is inevitable, lie down and enjoy it.
An insensitive and crass comment made in the Karnataka Assembly by a senior Congress legislator, former Speaker Ramesh Kumar, and the conditional apology today.
ಅಪರಾಧ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ತೀರ್ಮಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಬಂದು ತೀರ್ಪು ಕೊಟ್ಟುಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾನು ಕ್ಷಮೆಯನ್ನು ಕೋರ್ತೇನೆ. ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಕುಲಕ್ಕೆ ನೋವಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಇಡೀ ದೇಶದ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ಯಾರು ಯಾವ ಮೂಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವರ ಭಾವನೆಗಳಿಗೆ ನೋವಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಯಾವ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠೆನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕವಾದ ಶುದ್ಧವಾದ ಹೃದಯಾಂತರದಿಂದ ನಾನು ವಿಷಾದವನ್ನು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಲೈ ಡೌನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಇಟ್.
Equally shocking, the response of current Speaker Vishweshwar Hegde Kageri and other MLAs who laughed, treating a line about lying back and enjoying rape if it was inevitable as a big joke.
How dare you make such a statement? We do not make frivolous statements trivializing rape and victims of rape. The speaker guffawing over there just goes to show that these are not fit to be our elected representatives.
क्या कहूँ, आई एम स्पीचलेस. मुझे शर्म आती है कि ऐसे लोग ऐसे जगह पर बैठे.
But when women MLAs tried to raise their voices against the comment, the speaker steered the proceedings away from the issue. Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra condemned the statement on Twitter, calling it inexplicable. The Congress's Randeep Singh Surjewala tweeted describing the exchange as highly objectionable and insensitive banter and unacceptable behavior, including the speaker in his criticism. KPCC Chief DK Shivakumar tweeted that it was a sign that all of us men in politics need to do better to shed our inherent regressive attitudes towards women.
अब तो वो माफी मांगे हैं तो वो बात और है, लेकिन ऐसी अभद्र शब्द है, पार्लियामेंट में, असेंबली में नहीं बोलना चाहिए।
The BJP was critical of Ramesh Kumar, but not so forthcoming on the speaker's response.
कि कांग्रेस का वो नेतृत्व जो बार-बार उत्तर प्रदेश में दुहाई देता है कि मैं लड़की हूँ, लड़ सकती हूँ, अगर इतनी हिम्मत है तो पहले इस नेता को अपनी पार्टी से निष्कासित करो।
Insensitive statements that should not be made anywhere, finding space in the Karnataka State Assembly. A disturbing reminder, if one were needed, that sensitivity and empathy are often in short supply among some of our elected representatives. With Govind Murthy, Maya Sharma in Bengaluru for NDTV.
Shocking statements there, but that really reflects a misogyny in politics, whatever the party. Meanwhile, the debate is now growing over whether the women's age of marriage should have been raised to 21 to match that of men or not. But listen to the stakeholders that really matter: young women who escaped being married off as children.
22-year-old Chhota Chaudhary is now studying for the Rajasthan Government Services exam. She was married off when she was just 14 years old. After a long legal battle, she got her marriage annulled in March this year. Without the support of her parents, who were worried they would be socially ostracized, it's been a lonely battle for Chhota. And while describing her ordeal, she says she's happy with the government's decision to raise the age for marriage.
मैं 14 साल की थी तब मेरा बाल विवाह कर दिया गया था और समाज के और परिवार के दबाव से मेरा बाल विवाह हो गया था। और जब मैं पढ़ने के लिए जाती थी तो मेरे ससुराल वाले के पक्ष तरफ से मुझे पढ़ने के लिए मना कर रहे थे और मेरे परिवार वाले बोल रहे थे अभी ये पढ़ रही है।
It's a similar story with 21-year-old Sandhya. She was just 16 when her father decided to get her married. On her complaint, NDTV went to child rights activists and saved her from becoming a child bride 5 years ago. A year later, she topped her class 11 exams and today she's studying for an MBA.
The legal age of the women in India should be 21. I am also one of the girl who escaped from the child marriage at the age of the 16. I love this proposal so that a girl can educate by herself and she can think wisely and her decisions can be independent. At the age of 21, her maturity levels will be increased.
According to the National Family Health Survey's latest figures, the percentage of child marriage in India has declined from 27% to 23%. But it's still alarmingly high, as the number of child marriages, especially in rural areas, go unreported. But scholars and activists have also argued against increasing the age of marriage to 21. They say, even though the age of marriage was fixed at 18 in 1978, about 30% of women were married off before they were 18. Bringing in a law would deny protection of rights to young women who marry before 21. Critics also say the state should not dictate when a woman should marry, and it is an attempt to control her sexuality. They say what helps is awareness, education and a supportive environment, and point out that if you have the right to vote at 18, why not the right to marry?
We have been as abysmally, problematic in terms of controlling marriages even below the age of 18. Reason of actually increasing it to 21, to my mind, can be very counterproductive.
But others like Zeenat Shaukat, the known voice of reform in Islam, says it's a step in the right direction.
Especially in a country like India, where we have been used to child marriages, early marriages, I think it gives you maturity and it gives you discretion.
The government has also linked underage marriages to a higher infant and maternal mortality rate. And a step towards addressing all these issues is to hope that women will marry when they are adult enough to take decisions about their reproductive rights. NDTV Bureau Report.
Well, moving to other political news, Captain Amrinder Singh, ex-Congress Chief Minister, and the BJP have announced they will fight the Punjab election in alliance, with a hug between Captain Singh and Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, Minister who was also in charge of the Punjab elections for the BJP, after their meeting in Delhi. They haven't announced yet what the seat sharing will be, but the ex-Chief Minister said winnability will be the criterion. Those sources are telling NDTV BJP will be the senior partner in the alliance.
काफ़ी दिनों से हमारी बात चल रही थी बीजेपी की लीडरशिप के साथ, और मुझे खुशी है कि आज हमारे जो इंचार्ज हैं पंजाब के बीजेपी की तरफ से मिनिस्टर साहब ने आपको बता दिया। हम बिल्कुल तैयारी में हैं, 100% हम जीतेंगे, इसमें कोई डाउट ही नहीं है। क्वेश्चन है, जैसे इन्होंने कहा, हमने सीट टू सीट बेसिस हम देखेंगे। विनेबिलिटी हमारा क्राइटेरिया है, और जो विनेबिलिटी है, जहां बीजेपी के कैंडिडेट होंगे, पूरी तगड़े तरीके से हमारी पार्टी सपोर्ट करेगी, और वो वाइस वर्सा वो हमारे लोगों को सपोर्ट करेंगे।
मुकाबला किससे
लड़ने जा रहे हो? किसी से मुकाबला नहीं है, ना अकाली दल से है, ना आम आदमी से है, ना किसी और से।
कैप्टन साहब और हम पहले चंडीगढ़ में साथ मिले थे। आदरणीय गृह मंत्री जी, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जगत प्रकाश नड्डा जी और कैप्टन साहब पहले ही इस बात का संकेत दे चुके हैं कि हम साथ मिलकर के चुनाव लड़ेंगे। और आज इस हमारी साथ हुई वार्ता के बाद में मैं कह सकता हूं कि तय है कि हम साथ मिलकर के चुनाव लड़ेंगे। हम साथ मिलकर के चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं। बाकी सारे विषयों पर, सीट शेयरिंग और इन विषयों पर एप्रोप्रिएट टाइम पर हम आप सबको सूचित करेंगे।
Well, breaking news coming in just now on an over 200 crore penalty imposed on Amazon by the Competition Commission of India. Sukriti has more details on that. Sukriti, now this of course was in the Supreme Court as well. What exactly are the implications of this penalty by the CCI?
Well, yes, the 2019 deal between the Amazon Future Group has been stayed. It will be examined afresh. Amazon Group has been asked to pay rupees 200 crore as penalty within 60 days. As of what we know from the Amazon side is that it's reviewing the CCI order and will likely decide on the next steps that it is going to take. As far as the CCI's order is concerned, it says that Amazon failed to notify certain commercial arrangements which were made as part of the 2019 future deal. What it also says is that Amazon suspects the actual purpose as well as particulars of the 2019 future deal. Omissions, false statements have an effect of influencing the line of inquiry in assessing the deal. So that is what the Competition Commission of India has said. And yes, as you pointed out, these deals are also under question. And the Supreme Court has also been hearing the cases and are likely to come up when the Supreme Court reopens after the vacation around the 3rd of January. So in the first few weeks of January, the case is likely to come up in the Supreme Court. But yes, as of now, it's a big setback to the Amazon Group.
Right, so we'll wait for reactions from Amazon and Future and of course the Ambanis as well who will be impacted. Thanks so much for that update. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister met with leading private equity and venture capital players today, asking for suggestions on making India easier to do business in and to attract more capital and further the reform process. So the meeting attended by senior equity players and venture capital investors here in India.
10 years ago, we had less than $1 billion of funding per year going into startups. This year, we'll have over 30 billion. And I credit a large part of this to the extraordinary focus that our Honorable Prime Minister Modi as well as our government has had on startups.
The interaction that we had with the Prime Minister was just amazing because the intent with which the Prime Minister is listening to every single input and the recommendation from the people in the meeting was very deliberate.
ये नहीं कि उन्होंने सिर्फ हमको सुना, उन्हें साथ साथ हमारे को भी आइडियाज़ दिए कि सरकार ने क्या क्या नई एरियाज़ में वो उनको लगता है कि हमारे स्टार्टअप एंटरप्रेन्योर्स नई चीज़ें कर सकते हैं.
Well, another developing news coming in. A ninth vaccine has got permission from the WHO, emergency use authorization. This is the Indian-made Covovax made by the Serum Institute. Adar Poonawalla tweeted that he's very happy that this has now got approval as well, especially to be used in developing countries. So it adds to the vaccine arsenal that the world currently has against COVID, especially important at a time when we're seeing an Omicron surge in so many countries around the world. So Adar Poonawalla saying this is yet another milestone in our fight against COVID.